Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Well, I've been off the last 2 days just because I was having some issues with technology in the studio. So I'm back now. It seems to be overcome, which is pretty exciting because we've got just some hyper bullish things to talk about today. We have the weekly updates for Michael Saylor's strategy, the largest digital asset treasury on Bitcoin, and of course we also have Bitmine immersion from Tom Lee, the largest digital asset treasury on Ethereum. They are buying up all the Bitcoin. They're buying up all the Ethereum, and they are setting us up for the bull run. The ETFs on catch up, and so are the big whales. They're all buying. It's going to be pretty exciting. And we got some news today that the United States may also be getting in on the game. So I hope you look forward to that. It's going to be pretty exciting. I don't know. This news today on today's live streams, I think it's going to be truly epic. We also got Pulsechain doing some pretty damn exciting things. Some of the top teams in Pulsechain really launching some frontier DeFi in liquidity building, wallets, intent-based trading, privacy. It's all coming together, guys. It is really, really exciting. We've got new projects launching in the market on Pulsechain, giving some excitement. We've got 9MM really just pumping today. We've been following that, of course, journey and talking about the blue chips. You know, I've got about 15 blue chips that we kind of follow. We've got a couple of dynamic ones that can, blow up at any time in terms of price going to the upside. And then we have lots that will, need Pulse to move. But sometimes these move a bit earlier than people expect because people are front running that move and market makers come in. So the supply side is quite demure, and it bodes well for the price upside. The other thing, of course, we're going to get into today is the monster thread number 51. That is edition 51 is out. We're going to be talking about that. That's really, really exciting. All the stuff's going on there amongst the people and amongst the DeFi. We're also going to talk about MVS Crypto, of course, the editor-in-chief of the monster thread, and, of course, the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. It's going to be pretty exciting. Of course, the Monster Thread is a publication of the Crypto Night Show team, and we are loving it. We are loving it. So we're onwards and upwards for there. So number 51 is going to be pretty exciting. All right, so let's get it. We've got Craig Pitt in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Welcome to the show. We also got Peter in the house as well. Good to see you, Superman. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, good to see you, Peter. It's good to be back as well. So exciting times, exciting times. All right, so let's get into it. I've got something running on the show. I'm not sure what it is, but it's running at the same time too. All right, don't forget, if you're on X, don't forget to hit the follow button at the top if you're new. If you want to repost the show, I've pinned it to the top of the Crypto Night Show profile, and just hit the repost button. Just take a second to do that. Really is easy to do. Don't just do it for me and my channels, but also do it for all the other influencers you really enjoy, because it really helps a lot with everybody to grow. And if everybody's growing, spreading the good word around Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pulsechain, then you're pumping your own bags because more and more people get to hear about it. So definitely get out and do that. Lots of great streamers out there, all doing their own thing, right? All doing their own thing and their own personalities coming out. The other big thing, of course, is we've got updates from Liberty Swap. We're going to do the Liberty Swap updates. So without further ado, let's kick into gear and get going. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We're on 3 YouTube channels right now, looking pretty good. So let's have a great session. Get into the comments as always, and let's go for gold. If you've got anything exciting that I haven't talked about, get in the chat as well. But we're going to kick it off with the stock market for Monday. So let's go there now and see how the stock market is going. So we've got Wall Street there. Futures tick up after record highs. Obviously, we're on record highs on the stock market. We had a nice little V recovery there. We did see the Iranian regime propose a new proposal around the Strait of Hormuz to open it up, but to defer nuclear talks. Of course, this is just the usual tactics of playing games, and of course, that's going to be outrightly rejected. Obviously, Trump at the moment's got holding all the cards, really. When we say holding all the cards, for the most part, obviously there's little things that they can do. But actually, just the blockade is just a powerful thing. and it's a selective blockade. So what's a very important issue is that they could let do the opposite of what Iran said. So Iran said, anybody that's our ally, can go in and out, but everybody else that supports Americans and Israelis can't. But of course, the Americans then, Trump turned around and goes, well, basically, we'll do the opposite. So everyone that's anti the Iran regime can go in and out, and everyone else can't. And so they've turned away there must be 40 plus ships now as well, and they've been jumping onto sanctioned ships all across the world now, with the blockade being almost global. So it's been quite the fast there. Anyway, so we'll keep watching that. As the market's kind of cool. The market's going to start forgetting about it. Okay, the market's already forgotten about it. It's already recovered. But I think the market's going to essentially say, hey, look, the war's done. People are diversifying their fuel. We see massive amount of ships going from Europe and around the world, Australia, through to the United States now. United States now pumping out, I think, over 5.2 million barrels a day, I think it is. So it's really, everything's starting to diversify. Think about the daily demand is about 100 million barrels a day. So it's really starting to diversify. So the 20% that's going through the Strait of Hormuz is slowly starting to diversify to other places. The Saudis, of course, go out the other strait, and so on. It's just really starting to change behavior. And this is one of the side effects of what's happening here. So it's dampening down that 20%. So we're going to keep watching out for that too, as we move forward, and the United States production going up, and all ships are starting to change directions in terms of getting their oil and gas. Europeans signing up LNG deals with the United States. So the United States winning big time out of this. So there's all these different things happening in the big space, in the big picture, that you got to keep address of, not what's in the mainstream media, which is also anti-America, right? So the mainstream media in America want America to fail, right? They want America to fail. So it's no use supporting those guys. They just send nonsense out. All right, let's get into the markets results. With that backdrop, we got the Dow Jones down 0.13%, 63 points to 49,167. And if we look at the all-time high here, we haven't quite hit the all-time high. So the all-time high was in about the 9th, 10th of February. We were at 50,100 points. So we're about, let's say about 950 points or so below the all-time high for the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, remember, has the top 30 industrials in it, at least a big selection of them. The S&P 500 starts to get into more broad-based tech stocks and broad companies, and that is up 0.12%, almost 9 points to 71,173, and we can see we're at all-time highs. So you can see the markets moved on from the Iranian war, and essentially the military side of it's largely been won, let's say 75%, and it's just a losing position now for the Iranian regime. Remember, the Iranian regime are radicals. Even the third level, whatever they are, the military, they're all radicals. Even the moderates are moderate radicals. You know what I mean? It's like there's not much difference. Moderate radicals need sort of have the position where they need to run the country. The diehard radicals are just so apocalyptic, so ideologically, theologically positioned that they'll just go to, they'll burn the whole country down just to try and pretend they're in the end times. It's kind of a crazy thing. So let's see what happens in that space. In the meantime, of course, the economies are getting tapped out with the oil. They'll have to be shutting down their pipes, and that's going to cause them a lot of loss. And of course, people are going to lose incomes, etc., etc. It's going to have a cascading impact on the economy, and therefore also the people in Iran. So there's lots of stuff to play out there, and ultimately we all hope that Iranian people, the Persians, get their freedom, like they did back in 1979 when they were a modern Western society. And so yeah, let's see what happens here. Nasdaq at the moment is up 0.2%, 50 points to 24,887, and we're at record highs there too. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that, gorgeous stuff. SP 500, 700. Now I think Tom Lee has I can't remember whether it's at 7,300 or 7,700, but 7,300 I think's the near term one that he has. So we're well on the way to that. All right, so some good stuff happening there. Now let's jump over to the commodities. We got West Texas. They're still elevated. West Texas still elevated. So it's $97.53, up 1% today, $1.14. Brent oil there up 1%, not $1 at $102.67. So still elevated. We expect those to come back down, as you can see in the chart over the last year, come back down towards about $60 to $65. And I wouldn't be surprised if they even go lower over time, just slightly lower anyway. Obviously, there's cost of production, but that is kind of where we are. So we've still got like maybe a 50% premium sitting in those oil prices. But the market's absorbing it. Markets are continuing on. Economies continuing on there. We will have some sort of spike, obviously, but I think it's going to be worse for non-United States countries. We're talking about China, India, Europe. Those sort of things might see some of that aspects. But we are getting a reordering of the oil trade routes as well. So gold at the moment just down slightly, $3.60 at just under 4,700, and silver there. So you can sort of see gold's made lower highs here on gold. Silver as well down a 30%, $75. Also three lower lows. So silver there really rotating out. Question is, will we see it go below 67? If it does that, then it's likely to go down again. So keep a lookout for that. But we are expecting silver to stay, the floor on silver to stay higher because of the demand for electronics and the AI revolution, etc., robotics, all that stuff. But this a lot of this price here has got speculation premium in it, right? Not supply and demand premium. So it's just a matter of where the floor might lie, right? Will it get down to $50 to $60? We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'm sure there's lots of comments on that. All right, so that's kind of it with the markets. Obviously, Trump there proposed, we talked about the Strait of Hormuz. The big thing we've got this week, guys, is that we've got a third of the S&P 500 companies are scheduled to report their earnings this week. So that is going to be a big focus this week. We get good results, particularly around AI companies and the benefits of that. Then, everything's going to rally even more. But I'm hyper bullish of where the US economies and the index is going to go over the Trump era, right? While Trump's in power, I'm very optimistic about that. If we get something after Trump, if we get someone that's Trump-like, not necessarily his personality, it's obviously pretty difficult to replace, except for the Chinese Trump guy. He's pretty funny, but you get my point. Is if we have the able to keep momentum there, that'd be pretty powerful. But of course, we've got the midterms coming up in November, and this war is potentially may play in it, but it may dampen down too. Just depends on how it plays out. The Iranian regime, of course, is banking on the midterms and the Democratic left to win the war for them, right? So there's this unholy alliance between progressives and the Islamic extremists, or just even Islamics generally, and they're playing out together, right? They eventually turn on each other. Don't worry. In the future, they turn, and the progressives lose, by the way, when that happens. So it's something. We'll see how that plays out. All right, so that is where we are right now with the old markets. Let's jump over to the Fed meeting, which is coming up as well. So we've got earnings reports this week, third of the S&P 500, and then we've got the rate decision in less than 2 days, a day and 15 hours, and that is on the 29th. So that's going to be Wednesday US time, I guess. We've got expectation, 100% expecting a no change in interest rates on the June, and this is, I think, the last meeting for Jerome Powell as well. That doesn't mean that he doesn't necessarily need to step down. He could potentially stay there for another 2 years, not as the chair though. Then at the June 17th meeting afterwards, we've got 97% expecting a no change. It's 3.75%, and a small 3% expecting a 25 basis point or 0.25% change there in June. But July, we should have the new chair in place for sure, and we've got 11% of the market expecting a 25 basis point cut there at the moment. And of course, last week on Tuesday we had the nomination meeting, didn't they? Select committee meeting there with the chair. So keep a look out for that. That is one of our bullish catalysts. Obviously, I think we should get at least a 50 basis point cut, even with the oil price elevated for an extended period of time. So let's see what happens in that space. That's should be, a good rule of thumb is interest rates and inflation close to a 1-to-1. So let's see what happens there. All right, that is the stock market. So, a decent day there today. And the futures are green, right? The futures are green. So even looking even more bullish for tomorrow's markets if it holds up for the rest of the day. Let's jump over to crypto and see how crypto's going. Well, obviously, crypto got heavily manipulated overnight, particularly on announcements around Iran and stuff like that. A lot of perhaps some of the exchanges started playing their little games on Sunday and, liquidating the market as well. So a bit of tit for tat there, and a lot of people that were going along that has expected the price to go up in Bitcoin. With the perpetual markets ended up getting closed out. So it was quite painful for some of them, I'm sure. Hey, Diamond Hand, good to see you in the house there. Big thumbs up. Absolutely. Now, if you guys have just come into the show, we just hit the Crypto Major talk. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, smash the follow on X, and repost on X as well. Let's get going. Let's get going. So we got 2.65 trillion market cap. Remember, the crypto market cap's very small, right? Very small. We're down 2.4%. So we got a huge road ahead for re-rating the market cap. So it's going to get exciting in the future. You guys are still early, super early in crypto. Bitcoin right now down 2.7% today at 77,000. We got Ethereum there down 4.2% at $2,293, down 4.2%. We got XRP down 3.1% at $1.40. BNB at number 5 down 2.1% at $625. Solana at number 7 down 3.5% at $84.39. We got Tron at the moment number 8 is actually up 0.4% at 32.5 cents. And then finally, number 10, Dogecoin there, down 1%, sitting just below 10 cents at 9.92 cents. We did have a couple of greens for the week, so Bitcoin's still holding green at 1.3% for the week, and we've got Doge there up 3.9% for the week. Some winners there. Now, we are expecting, on the Doge point of view, we've got different fundamentals, I think, operating on each of these chains, and we've got Dogecoin expecting probably to benefit from X Money. So the rumors are that X Money will go live, I think it's next week. So X Money there from Elon Musk and X Platform. I think that's expected to go public live. It's been obviously in testing and etc. It's been live, but only for select people. That I think that's looking to go live. So once we have that, I think we're ended up going to have crypto added as well. It'll be pretty quick, guys. Maybe within a month or two afterwards, possibly 3 months, maybe. But it's going to be pretty quick. Maybe the next month. So keep a lookout for that. That could be a huge mass adoption tool as well for crypto, given how many people watch on X as well. So that would be one of the mass adoption vehicles. Obviously, we've been following Bitmine Vision and Tom Lee's investment in Mr. Beast Industries. We're expecting Mr. Beast Industries to be one of the main retail adoptions, mass adoption. So there's going to be a couple of vehicles, I think, for mass adoption, and they'll end up perhaps competing with each other, perhaps not. Because they may have very different market segments in terms of the generations. Like Mr. Beast targeting Generation Z and Alpha, bit of millennials, and maybe X Money more millennials and Generation X, etc. So we'll see. But I think we're going to have a couple vehicles for mass adoption of crypto. So do you see what I mean? You guys are here at takeoff time. It's about to get really amazing. It's about to get really amazing. Of course, there'll be little pullbacks and this and that on the way. You're always going to have volatility in markets, but I think ultimately we're on takeoff time. And wait for later on because I'm going to talk about more bullish stuff coming. Just got to be patient, right? Just be patient. If you want to go do the pump and dumpers and try your luck there, you can do that. But if you want to play the big game, and then it's really takeoff time is happening. All right, let's jump over to the top 100 coins and see who's performing well there. Well, we've got stable, right, for USD Tether, still performing pretty well, up 4.2% today, 37% for the week. Pudgy Penguins are number 2, up 33.5% for the week. Blockchain Capital up 28% for the week. Providence Blockchain up 17%, and Jupiter up 12.6%. So they're the best performers in the top 100, top 5 over the last week. Top over the last 24 hours, we've got Blockchain Capital, Providence, Pi Network, which is a dog's breakfast, right? Stable coin, stable there, and Pudgy Penguins, the top 5 in the 24 hours. Top 1,000, we got Pearl, that's up 55%. What's this? Oni X coin, or Oni X coin, but 20%, and TAC up 90%. Those top gainers apparently in the top 1,000. I don't know, this top 1,000 list is pretty weird. But anyway, we got trending overall. We got Pudgy Penguins, Canton, and Terra Luna Classics. Say what? Yeah, Terra Luna Classics in there. How many zeros? 40683, up 10% there. People always trying to flog at a dead horse, so to speak. There's always money to be made, of course, in crypto. But there we go. It does have a big audience, right? So that's the key. You can have a dead coin, but if it's got a big audience, then there's lots of people that can come off the sidelines, right, and believe the hype. And up it goes. Anyway, so that's doing pretty well. Look, Pudgy Penguins has been a lot here trending, isn't it, on CoinGecko during the bear market. And this is Tom Lee's favorite one. And I suggest to you it's probably going to be one of the key meme coins that really hyper rallies at the moment. So that's the overall market at the moment. So down 2.4%. But, it's not too bad today. And Bitcoin around 77K. Let's jump into Bitcoin a bit closer here. So here we're on daily. This is Coinbase. And we can see that we're still looking real good, aren't we? We're still looking real good I think we're looking fantastic. In fact, I think the next month is going to be quite explosive. Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. So they normally say sell in May, right? Sell in May, but I think May is going to be probably pretty damn hot. And as long as nothing unexpected, no black swan event, I think we're looking pretty damn good. So here we are with the 50-day moving average in yellow, and then the 200-day moving average in orange. We're sitting, just below the middle of that range. We've been in the middle, and obviously we had quite a bit of manipulation and news about Iran on Sunday, and down we came a bit, but we're still up quite nicely, around 77k, let's say. So yeah, the 50-day is sitting at 73,600. So that's starting to move up, heading towards the 200-day. If it gets over that, it's another TA signal of a golden cross. Certainly, it's another substantiator or contribute to the upside, and that could be pretty exciting. So let's see how that goes. And we're looking pretty good there. So yeah, and the 200-day is at 82,486. And I did say to you, if we look at the weekly candle, we have got that on the 50 weekly average at 86,000. So 82, 86, kind of like the next natural range. And if we really do well over that, I think the next range is up here. What was previous resistance was 96, 97. And I think that's a good chance we'll go there. So this is the kind of the top of the range, 86,400, let's say. And we do have obviously negative interest rates. So this is basically when, in perpetuals, you have people that go short. In other words, they're betting the price will go down. And of course, Bitcoin, I think, has the biggest, particularly MSTR, the big digital asset treasury, has the biggest amount shorters there. And they're playing negative interest rates, right? So negative interest rates means that the shorters, the people that think the price is going to get down, are betting the price is going to get down, are paying the people that think the price is going to go up longs, right? And so we have this negative cost there per day. I think annualized is about 5%, but it's just eating into the position every day they've got to pay. And they're having a battle basically between Bitcoin and Michael Saylor and others, and the people in the short the market think they're going to beat the market. I think they're in a losing game. And it costs them to hold that position. And it's highly exposed. So if they have to cover, and we get what they call a short squeeze, where the short people have to buy to close out the short positions, they have to buy Bitcoin and close that position out, and that adds even more fuel to all the current buyers that are buying. So we've got digital asset treasuries, ETFs, whales, retail, etc. We're going to have probably US governments, etc. States and all that buying. They all those shorters, then if they close the positions, are buying on top of that, and they can push this market up real big, and it can happen really quick. So those are kind of the key players that we're looking. So yeah, we might be heading up towards the 82 to 86 mark. But if we get some sort of short squeeze, at least part of the market starts short squeeze, and also starts self-fulfilling itself, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and we could get a really big rally going on here in the Bitcoin market here. And this is only getting worse for shorters, and we're going to talk about why in a minute. So that's kind of the play there. I think we're looking pretty good. Let's jump into some of the drivers then of Bitcoin. Well, obviously, Michael Saylor there, strategy has acquired another 3,273 Bitcoin. That's for the last week. So that was just them issuing common stock, MSTR. And that's huge, right? That's huge. So think about miners. Miners are mining about 450 a day, right? 450 a day, which is about 3,150. So, strategy there buying just slightly more than what miners are producing in a week, right? So very, very exciting stuff there. So strategy is quite another 3,000. We're using common stock, and of course has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 9.6%. That's kind of the incomes aspect of it. So they're doing very well indeed year to date. That's just year to date. Imagine what the full year is going to be. As of the 26th of April, strategy now hodls 818,000 Bitcoin, 334. So 1,818. Remember, they're heading towards 1 million. That's their first target. But Saylor's already indicated that they're going to go well beyond that. So that's kind of their first target is the 1 million Bitcoin, about 5% of the supply. And he sort of indicated that Bitcoin could potentially be $1 million. So we'll see. It could be over and under that, maybe under. We'll see. But it's going to have an escalating price curve. Now we've been covering the power law, which seems to be one of the best, if not the best, models generally for the Bitcoin supply. MSTR supply. and the Bitcoin buys. But there's actually a new chart now come out, I think yesterday or the day before, called the Sailor S curve, and we might bring that up in another comment as well. That seems to be a really, really clever, fitting his purchase buys to the price of Bitcoin, and so that, fitting an S curve. So that's a pretty interesting perspective. And of course, because it's designed to fit, let's see how it plays out. But so far, it's looking very, very good indeed with its shape. So we'll see how that plays out over time as well. But yeah, 61.8 billion at 75,537 per Bitcoin. So they're still in the money, because 77K, $77,000. And so they're now in the money, right? They got unrealized gains, as it were. So kind of cool. Now, this is because their preferred stock, their stretch product, STRC, is not currently ATM, right? So it's at the market. It's not currently operating because the share price is below $100. So I think it's been ranging and got to as high as $99.70. But of course, with the Bitcoin volatility, it comes back down again all the time. So, but typically about 10 to 12 days is the recovery rate. And I think we're, I can't remember what day we're on now. Is it day 7 or 8, something like that? So we're getting there. And we'll see whether we start getting some ATM print this week. Potentially, maybe Thursday, Friday. We'll see what happens. And then next week, of course, maybe we'll get some big prints. If they start printing, $1 billion days again, well, there's not that much Bitcoin around, really, is there? So there might be a couple million Bitcoin on exchanges, but a lot of those are used for different reasons. And there's only a certain amount that's on there actually to be sold. So supply runs out pretty damn quick, right? Pretty damn quick. Not only have you got MicroStrategy issuing common stock buying Bitcoin, lifting the floor price of Bitcoin as it does that, but you also got their stretch product, which is hyper buying, harvesting the traditional debt markets, money markets, bond markets, raising capital over $100 par value, and then buying Bitcoin with it, right? And then got differential in the interest rates there between 11.5% on the stretch offering and maybe a CAG or a return of 25 to 35% for Bitcoin or so. So it's a pretty amazing thing. 2 months really have been down. What's next month going to be like with that? That's going to push the price of Bitcoin up even more. ETFs, of course, will probably continue to build their position as well now that they're net buyers over the last couple of weeks. And then we see whales are buying hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin as well. And individuals in Bitcoin, of course, are still the biggest holders, but they're slowly and surely selling them out to strategy and selling their Bitcoin to ETFs, etc., when they're net buyers. And so it's slowly redistributing Bitcoin. So pretty exciting times. So looking really good. So that is strategy. And of course, we can see some of the buys here and over time, right? Now, this includes both common stock, so MSTR, and their preferred stock, which is STRC, right? Stretch, which is offered to the debt markets as well. We can see the purchases here. So just in the last week, of course, 3,273. But look at the previous purchases. So we had 34,164. That's an insane amount of Bitcoin in that week. Isn't that crazy? And then 13,900 in the week before. And then 4,800 in the week before that. So, just in 4 weeks here, look at that amount that's been bought. What's that? 40, 47, 50. So 55,000 Bitcoin in the last month. I mean, think about that. That's insane. That's an insane amount. Just really take that in. That is crazy, crazy amount. So you see what I mean? The game is changing now. The game is changing. And I don't see this slowing down. If you look at the previous 4 weeks before that, so we've already had 2 months of the stretch product really ramping up really strong. We did have a good month back in January as well. But look at this previous month there. We had 23, 33, 40, 43, let's say 44,000 in the March. So this is an insane amount of Bitcoin, guys. Insane amount of Bitcoin now being bought up by Michael Saylor and at these prices. So it's pretty crazy. And of course, when supply runs out and you got all these demand forces coming in, buying up, and we've got them all, they're all coming. It looks like we could have even more news around the US government as well coming. It is going to be insane. The amount of price re-rate on Bitcoin, pretty crazy. Now, the Holy Grail, of course, coming up, $100,000 day buy. When could that happen? Could that happen this year? I think it's very feasible that it could happen this year. The Omega candle, as they call it. So you guys getting excited about that? The Omega candle could finally be coming $100,000 day jump in price. That'd be pretty insane. I'd like to see the wick on that, the pullback on that, but still insanity. It could be pretty crazy, guys. Now, when will we have to get that? When will we get that? I don't know. Will we get that? Do we have to wait the price gets super high? When it goes to about maybe 120K, are we going to see an Amiga candle goes to 220? I don't know. When's it going to happen? Is it going to have to wait till 400K before we get an Amiga candle? I don't know. It's could be pretty insane. Talking about insane, we've got Alex in the house. Hey, hello, Alex. Great to see you in the house. And we've got Uriz as well. Looking good there, guys. Welcome to the channel. All right, so yeah, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the way in. Smash the follow button on X as well. And I've noticed a big jump in X followers this recently. I don't know whether they fixed the algorithm up or whatever, but it's good to see. And also, don't forget to repost the show. It doesn't take much to do that. So think about what's happening here, guys. It really is incredible. How much a Bitcoin this guy's buying, 45 to 50,000 a month. This is not enough Bitcoin, guys. It's Nova Grits there just the other day on the live stream talked about the fact that they're going to do billion dollar weeks. I mean, there's just not enough Bitcoin. That's what he's saying, and so it's just disappearing off the market. And look, strategy is the buy of last resort. It's going to just keep buying. Michael Saylor said, "I'm just going to keep buying at all times. All times, is going to keep buying." So it is insanity personified, and obviously just past last week passed BlackRock's IBIT ETF, right? The number one ETF there at 802,000, I think they have Bitcoin, and they just flipped them, right? So onwards and upwards towards 1 million. And look, it looks maybe it's August that we get that million Bitcoin, and then they're going to continue on, and they're going to consume more and more Bitcoin there. So pretty crazy stuff. I think you guys will agree. It is insane stuff there. All right. What's happening here? All right. So the Bitcoin miners at the moment are mining about 13,500 Bitcoin per month. And Michael Saylor's buying 45 to 50,000. Just one key buyer, but that's giving you an idea. That's just insane. 4 or 5 times the amount. It's insane. All right. So that is some bullish stuff coming. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, it's we could have the US government coming very soon as well. Another key sector buyer, and we've got a big announcement on the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming in the next few weeks. So this is from Patrick Witt. He's the executive director, President's Council of Advisors for Digital Assets. He's the deputy director at Department of War Office of Strategic Capital as well. So let's hear his little breakout here from Bitcoin 2026 conference.
On Bitcoin as an asset overall, the president signed the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Executive Order last year, and we've gone to work in figuring out exactly the machinations necessary and legal interpretations that we need to get that right and solidify that and protect the digital assets, but specifically Bitcoin that we have on the government balance sheet. So in the next few weeks, we'll be making a big announcement. I think we have a bit of a breakthrough there. And obviously that needs to be followed up with legislation. Senator Lummis's Bitcoin Act over in the House, Representative Begich has talked about the ARMA Act that he has put together. So we need to codify it, but in the meantime, we do believe we're going to be able to take a big step forward from the executive branch side in the next few weeks.
That's huge. All right, so that is huge, guys. So if it wasn't already just unbelievable with strategy buying up all the Bitcoin, the ETS now net buys of Bitcoin to this for year to date. And we've got all the whales buying hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. We've now got the US government looking very likely some announcement could come out. Now, remember their policy is budget neutral. So keep a lookout all the innovations they're going to have to do to try and maybe acquire more Bitcoin. Now, I think if I remember rightly, Bitcoin held by the government mostly through confiscations is about 330,000 Bitcoin plus or minus. But this could be exciting, guys. And this could be insane, right? Insane value. So we'll keep a lookout for this announcement coming out in the next few weeks. We've obviously got a number of legislations moving through, Clarity Act as well, and a few others. So we're going to keep following that as well, all supportive of potentially the banks flooding into the market, etc. Now, we do have some leading banks already positioning. Of course, they're buying up the stocks and the shares in a lot of these companies, especially the digital asset treasuries. They're also buying crypto for themselves and for their own balance sheet. They're also obviously buying through the ETFs as well for their clients. So they've got a range of clients that they're buying for. So it's pretty cool. They got wealth clients, they got IRA clients, etc. They're just going to continue buying there, and it's just warming up. Things are just warming up, and now they have to compete with each other too, because they're all competing for an increasingly scarce supply. All right, so that's pretty exciting. I hope you guys got excited. Should we say one more comment before we move on to Ethereum? Well, Michael Saylor says a massive Bitcoin supply shock is coming. So there we go. If that's not enough, it is game on, guys. Game on. All right, let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum is looking pretty exciting too. Well, we've got strategy there, harvesting or offering products to the debt market through preferred stock and using that money to buy Bitcoin. We have Tom Lee from Bitmine Emission, basically bringing over the institutions over to Ethereum, and also looking to do mass adoption through Beast Industries, right? And a few other things like AI and digital ID, etc., stuff like that he's working on with I guess 8Co and OpenAI and all those sort of things out there, Orbs and stuff, all those companies. So they're going to be doing their thing, and they're going to be bringing mass adoption and finance over to Ethereum. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are the key two chains. And of course, this is where a lot of the money is flowing. This is where all the organizations are setting up and positioning. And there's exciting times that positioning is going to start, being, it's going to start manifesting in the price, going up at bigger pace, at bigger increments, I should say, moving forward. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And it can't be too far away. So we've got Ethereum here right now. We've got the daily candles, and we've got the 50-day at $2,243. We've got the 200-day at $2,600 in orange. So that's about a $400 range, and we're just at the bottom range at the moment. Closer to what we saw with Bitcoin. Of course, Ethereum did get hit by some disappointment around Aave. We got 2x as well. With Aave Bridge and just the way that suck out ETH there. Obviously, we saw some of that get captured as well on second layer chains, but that certainly has, I think, had a short-term impact. But I think just the fundamentals long-term are just so incredible that the momentum's still just moving on forward here, and so we'll absorb that and move on, right? But here we are at $2,288 right now. Recently, we've been around 2,400, trying to really challenge that mark many days, probably 5 or 6 days, try to challenge that 2,400 mark. And so that's what we're looking to break through. But we're still holding up really well. We're above the 200 at moving average, at least by about 40 to $50 at right now. And I think we're still heading in the right direction there. Now, we saw some big announcements from Bitmine Emission, number one digital asset treasury. This is kind of doing what Michael Saylor's doing in the Bitcoin space, but they're not doing any preferred stock offerings at the moment. But they imagine if they start doing that too. I mean, it'd be pretty insane. I don't know if Tom's going that direction, because he's focusing on finance generally and mass adoption, and then bringing the institutions over. But just keep watch out. You just never know with Tom Lee. He's a smart guy. And you got to kind of trust the plan, right? You got to trust the plan. Some people don't trust the plan, but it's kind of where you're heading. So far, I think he's showed his actions are very good for the most part. And of course, we're going to have a look there. And when I say the most part, there's some intricacies there I don't want to get into. But we've got Bitmine providing its latest holdings update for April the 27th, just like we saw with Strategy. 13.3 billion in total crypto assets plus Moonshots. I think Moonshots is kind of a misleading name, by the way. I mean, it's true. Let's say it's one aspect of it, but it's actually a very strategic play, very strategic there. They now have 5,078 ETH. Sorry, 5,078,000 ETH. Is that insane? Remember, they're heading to about 6,034,000, I think is the number, which is 5% of the ETH supply. I think the ETH supply from memory is 120.7 million ETH, and 32% of that is now staked, which is insane. So yeah, 5 million. Isn't that crazy? They are pretty much the largest holder of ETH, and they are, as he puts it, the sovereign put, or the alchemy of 5%. There's lots of different phrases there that Tom Lee likes to use. At the current price, so pretty amazing stuff there, and at the price of 2,269 per ETH. They have 200 Bitcoin, because it used to be a Bitcoin miner. They have 200 million stake in Mr. Beast Industries. This, I think, is the mass adoption key, right? So if you think about a piece of a puzzle they're putting together, there's Tom Lee, just like Michael Saylor's doing the debt markets. These guys are doing the finance markets. 200 million stake Mr. Beast Industries. Now, interesting enough, Mr. Beast said on an interview, I think it was yesterday, that they're still working out. They bought a finance app or bank app called Leap. they're still working, putting pieces together for Mr. Beast Industries. He obviously wants to do education, but ultimately it's about money, right? It's about money and becoming huge. So Mr. Beast already been valued up to $5 billion on the capital raise. Obviously, Bitmine Measurement was involved with that with $200 million investment. They used that $200 million and turned around and bought the Leap app, and now they're putting in place a new financial system. So Mr. Beast Industries wants to be kind of like a new BlackRock for the generation, right? For Generation Z and Alpha and stuff like that, and a bit of millennials, of course. So that's kind of where we're heading. And so that's going to be a big place. I think we're going to see some of that maybe by the end of the year, in the second half of the year, probably in the fourth quarter, maybe, if not the 27, right? So I think we're going to see major plays there from Mr. Beast in that play. Obviously, he's expanded into different areas now, like consumables, etc. Obviously, he's got his content-based business, etc. And he is the biggest influence in the world, right? That's no doubt about that. Now, he also knows he's getting a bit older, and he also knows that spending millions of dollars on videos is not always as profitable as he would like to be. And so this is going to be another potential when they go to some sort of IPO or something, IPO, that this could be one of the $1 trillion launches, right? Just so we see with SpaceX or with OpenAI, etc. All these sort of big names getting potential $1 trillion launches. This is definitely looking like one of those, right? So this is a big, not only is it a strategic play, but also a massive potential value play, with 100x type of returns in it. So, and this would all be a composite return for Bitmine Immersion itself. So Bitmine Immersion, of course, is bigger than just the Ethereum digital asset treasury, which is awesome by itself, earning about 3% yield at the moment. But that's pretty exciting. So keep a lookout for that. That is going to be huge. Just like we saw with Dogecoin there benefiting from Elon Musk and X money, potentially this is benefiting here for Ethereum. So awesome stuff. And ultimately that's going to flow through to Pulsechain and other things as well, right? $91 million stake in 8Co Holdings. Of course, that's in the AI, bringing AI and digital ID and all that sort of other stuff into the mix. So you got this all fitting in together. And they still have a total cash of $840 million after raising money last week, which was a little controversial, but they probably did it when the MNAV was above 1 during particular periods during the week, where it had a few opportunities to issue money at the market with their brokers. So that's probably what happened there. All right, so pretty awesome stuff. The weekly buys, they've been ramping up. So Tom Lee's essentially called the bottom era, moving out of the crypto winter, as it were, and we have seen him increase the buys. So we had the minimum buys here around the 12th of January, 24,000. After having some pretty big buys last year, you can see that there, a couple 110,000 days. The biggest buy was the 8th of December, 138,000. Remember that the market came down in the 10th of October, and so this is about 2 months later after that. Now they have been buying, so they've been 50,000 in January. In March they started going to 50,000, 60,000. Once we got to April, 70,000, 71,000 for three weeks in a row. Well, the last 2 weeks they've gone to 101, 102,000 ETH buying. So they're essentially saying the bottom is in. They are also targeting the 5%, so 6 million coins. So they've still got about 1 million coins to go. And so they are buying up and they're increasing their ramp up for that. They're trying to get them as cheap as possible, but also trying to balance their cash raising ability. And of course, the MNAV has been below 1, about 94, 96%. It's even been slightly lower than that, but it's kind of where it is at the moment. So I think it's about 97% at the moment. So it needs to get to 1, of course. And so they are buying coins now as much as they possibly can. Now, if they keep the trajectory going, if they get some positive MNAV periods where they're able to raise a bit extra cash, they will be able to get to that 6 million coins, right? So that's pretty cool. Let me do 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 divided by, we got there. So at the moment, they could buy another, with the amount of cash on hand, they could buy another 410,000 Ethereum, right, at the current price. So that would take them up to about 5.5 million. So they've still got about 500 million short. So they've still got some capital raising, I think, to continue. They don't have any debt market product really with the preferred stock, so they can't do what Strategy is doing at the moment. But I think they're pretty comfortable that they're going to make it. And maybe it's by September or something like that this year, October. Certainly by the end of the year, I think they're going to comfortably come in with that 5%. All right, so that is a very exciting stuff there. So we're getting more ETH buys. That's also helping to underpin the market, right? They're giving support to the price, taking that supply goes off the market for pretty much for good. So that's never going to see the light of day again, at least for a long time, perhaps. Bitmine ETH holdings crossed 5 million this past week. Say Tom Lee. This is a major milestone as the company moves towards acquiring 5% of the ETH supply. And this pace of accumulation is astonishing, taking only 10 months to reach 5 million. So he's done it very fast indeed. Really, really crazy there. What else did he say? Several recent research reports, including the latest research by Etherealize, argue ETH is a store of value and will be held as collateral as digital assets increasingly used in financial transactions. This role for ETH has arguably been demonstrated by its outperformance since the Iran war commenced. ETH has outperformed the S&P 500 by 1,700 basis points since the war started and remains the single best performing asset in the world besides crude oil prices. Moreover, Ethereum continues to benefit from the dual tailwinds of Wall Street tokenization on the blockchain and from agentic AI systems increasingly need public and neutral blockchains. In our view, there is a lot of meaning to ETH being the best wartime store of value and to ETH being the asset leading since the war started, says Lee. Now, I think this is pretty exciting. You can see the little chart that's a little blurred, but you can see ETH at the top there, along with technology, Bitcoin, and MSCI World Technology Index as well. So they're kind of the big movers there in the 16, 17, 15% mark. Kind of cool. So that was pretty exciting. Now, the one thing I'll say about this too is that these mega themes for crypto around tokenization and AI agentic systems, they're only just ramping up. So AIs, people setting up all these AIs. We're talking about potentially millions and millions and millions. And they're going to have Ethereum wallets. So we've got about 400 million Ethereum wallets. I think that number's going to blow up into billions and billions and billions of Ethereum wallets. And I don't know what the capacity is, but it's going to be huge. And they're going to be, doing transactions, right? People are going to automate those to do transactions. AI is going to be able to make financial decisions and go and buy and sell and set up products and or basically do what humans are doing and replace them, right? So it's going to be pretty insane. Obviously, AI, it's really unlimited, isn't it? In the digital world there, and so limited to capacity and things like that. But assuming obviously all the expansion, the capacities go up, then it's just up and away, right? So pretty huge, and I think we already see the hard drive storage already going up in price for various reasons, but demand is going up and away for chips and storage, etc., because the digital age is going to expand at absolutely insane numbers, right? So I think we're on that doorstep, and of course Ethereum is going to be probably the key winner there straight off the bat. So looking very exciting about this as well, and of course all the traditional markets coming over the tokenize over on the blockchain, not only their products but also their shares and things like that. So game on. All right, that is pretty exciting. I think we've got a bit more here with Bitmine. As of the 26th of April, Bitmine total staked ETH stands at 3.7 million Ethereum. So they've really staked a lot of their Ethereum. Annualized staking revenues are now 264 million. That's pretty good business, right? And this is three in 10 months. Now they've now got an income of $250 million at the current price of ETH. And this 3.7 million ETH is about 73% of the 5.1 million ETH that are now held by Bitmine. The rate that they're earning is about 3%. That's gone up recently, right? We saw a couple 100,000 ETH get unstaked, and the yield's gone up. While Bitmine's own staking operations generated a 7-day yield of 3.03%, slightly higher annualized, right? And of course they got their Maven staking platform, right? So you can see that they have had a big jump. So between the 19th and the 22nd of April, they've jumped from 3.33 million ETH stake to 3.7. So that's about 370, is it? 1,000 ETH. So huge jump in staking, and they're not slowing down. And you can see the staking revenue there is going up on the way. If they staked all their ETH, it'd be about 363 million right now. If they get to the 5% alchemy, the 6 million ETH, they'll be at $431 million per year, and that's at the current price of Ethereum. So obviously, if Ethereum goes up, 3x, they'll be earning over $1 billion a day. $1 billion a year, which is makes it a very profitable company with no debt. Remember that? No debt. So pretty cool. Also, the big thing, the ability to raise capital is very important, right? And that's what we want. We want money. We want people to flow money in. Well, they have a really a really good volume. BMNR, Bitmine Immersion, has daily average dollar volume of 845 million, sometimes over $1 billion too. 5-day average as of 23rd, ranking it the number 123 company in the United States. Think about that. That's pretty amazing out of what, 5,700 or something? 5,700 listed stocks. And that's ahead of Comfort Systems USA, and behind Nike. So there we go. So they've been doing pretty cool, and that allows them to raise capital, particularly when the MNAV goes over 1. They can then go to the market. There's so much money in demand, and they can issue new shares and raise capital that way. So pretty awesome stuff. So as you can see, Ethereum is in good hands, and of course we see the ETFs expanding as well. And we now see Morgan Stanley and stuff like that coming in with staking ETFs. That's all about to go next level, right? So we're getting similar things happening in the Bitcoin markets, happening in Ethereum here. Very cool. All right. So we also saw just in the last hour, we saw some more ETH stakes. So Tom Lee staked another 112,000 ETH. Total Bitmine has staked now is up to 3.8. So we saw it was 3.7 million in the update yesterday. Well, they've staked another over 100,000 ETH again, and now at 3.8, which is 75. So they jumped from 73 to 75% of its ETH holdings now staked. Isn't that awesome? That is fantastic. So and that ETH is not going to see the light of day again. And remember, we're over 32% staked ETH now out of all the ETH, about 120.7 million ETH. So 32% is staked. So it's only bullish, I think, for Ethereum. Ethereum, of course, if you look longer view, I think, I don't know if we go to the monthly here. Let's go to the monthly view here. I think the Ethereum price has been real compressed, and we're really looking for a massive re-rate on Ethereum. I think it's going to be absolutely, truly glorious. And it's it's warming up for it right now. So I think these prices are still damn pretty friendly. So yeah, exciting times. So because of all the bullish things I've been talking about the last 50 minutes, we've only been talking about the markets, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. The bear scenario is looking very unlikely. The scenario of the power law floor is about 53K or so. Some people in the bears talking about 40K. They'd love to pick it up at that kind of price. Even 30K, some people. I think that's pretty extremely unlikely. I think it would be quite a black swan event for that to happen. We've got everyone buying right now, and that's just momentum's continuing. Just early days, only about 2 months in that ramp up. And I think, that 60K on terms of Ethereum, that $1,742 low is pretty much in, and we're now game on, right? So I think that's pretty exciting. So yeah, that was at 1742. Yeah. So that was in the monthly candles here. So I think we're going up, and we're almost back up to the monthly average there. Look at that. So monthly average there sitting at 24.86, and we're in a couple $100 below that, but we have tapped on it a couple of times. So I think we're about to go, baby, go. Pretty cool. On the weekly, just one more time looking at the Ethereum chart. We've got the 50-week moving average in yellow is at $2,760. The 200 weekly average is at $2,550. I think we're heading in the right direction there. So some good milestones to hit, and things are ramping up. All right, so kind of cool. Let's jump over to Pulsechain next. We got any more comments in the chat? Don't forget to get your comments in the chat. And if you're watching on X, don't forget to hit the repost button. We're about to get into Pulsechain, deep dive in there. We've got a lot to talk about. We're probably going to have quite a long show today, maybe an hour and a half, because we've missed the last 2 days because of my technical issues that I had not being able to stream. But if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe as well. All right, so Pulsechain, guys. Let's get into it. And we've got day 1082. Pulsechain, for those that are new, is a full system stake fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023. So obviously it's evolved in its own direction since that time. 1,082 days. It launched a couple of days later on the 30th of May 2023, and here we are 1,082 days later. Pulse at the moment is looking for the bottom. It is looking consolidated, I think. I'm not so sure it's going to go for another leg down. I mean, it's always possible, but I think a lot of the catalysts may have tired themselves out. And we've talked about that many times in the future. Many times in the past. Probably will talk about it in the future, but we're at 50758 right now, down 4.44%. We've got Pulsex at the moment, 50593, down 6.88%. We actually had about $1 million leave the chain over the last week. So we still have catalysts that can drag us down. So I'm not saying there is. I just feel like because the rest of the market's so bullish, that we will probably get a reversal there. Now, we also still have rotation into the majors. That still can be a problem. So it's not without its risks. but I still think that overall we're probably in a good, pretty place. We'll certainly know, I think, after 4 to 6 weeks, we can consolidate at this zone. All right, so Pulsex at the moment, 50593. We're down 6.9% today. And of course, these are all handsome pickup zones, in my view. Obviously, for not financial advice, do your own due diligence. We're sitting at 8.9% on the buy and burn, making Pulsex look pretty attractive there too. And an Ink token at the moment, which, it's got third-party use cases, but no direct use case now that the farming inflation's gone essentially close to zero. We're at 35.5 cents, down 5.3%. The only thing I'll say about this is that, there's a lot of whales that were mining out there holding Ink token. Are they going to be left with the bag? I don't know. What do you guys reckon? They can help pump it, of course, and make it look like it's alive. I don't know. What do you guys reckon will happen there with the old Ink token? We know some of the biggest whales are holding that. So we'll see. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on Ink token. It does have 30-party farm support and other protocols, but not Pulsex so much. So let's see what happens there. It's going to be a mirage. All right, so we got Frank White in the house there. Bang, bang, Lake Gang. Hey, good to see you, Frank White. Big shout out. And we got Blair as well. Hi, all. Great to see you, Blair, in the chat there. Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the chat if you got anything that you want to comment on there. We got Hex on Pulsechain, or PHEX as it's known, at 1300th of a penny, and that's down 5% at the moment. EHEX at the moment, 0006. That is down as well. The ratio has it's got a general uptrend over the months, but it's definitely been down the last couple of days. One hex, or one PHEX, I should say, will get you 2.24 EHEX there. Recently, that got pretty close to 1 to 2, didn't it? So it's a weakening off a little bit there. It's a longer time frame trend, so we'll keep seeing how that goes moving forward. Let's go to the gas prices. We've got 1.1 million beats at the moment, so a little bit elevated at 0.3 of a penny. We had been about 800,000, haven't we, for quite a few days. Validators, 50,300, so we're pretty much stable there. But we do have a little bit of news, I think, around Vouch, the number one public validator or liquid staking. And they've been staking, I think, some validators. We'll talk about that later. The bridge at the moment, 69.4 million. Yeah, we did have Pulse Alerts did show that we lost, was about 400K yesterday and about 600,000 the day before. So we had some big capital flows. I don't know if anyone's done any analysis on that, but that we did lose about $1 million, which is not great. So some big money going elsewhere there. I'm not sure who that was, but we might maybe CryptoSolve or someone that's done some analysis on that. So let's jump over to the so that's the Richard Hart sort of Pulsechain key metrics. Let's jump over to the top performers today. Well, we've got Amiga in the house. So Amiga there is up and away. Now that's a team. I think that's from Cabal King or somebody like that. That's up 4,300% at the moment, so that's doing pretty well. There's a new token, only been around for 7 hours. They're going to have their own protocol stuff, so we'll go check that out. Now, I'm not endorsing this in particular. Remember, we're just going through the top 100 list, so do your own due diligence there. And let's have a quick look at the X count from here quickly, because I think they had some announcements here. So it's all only just started, just launched. I think it's Cabal King. I think it is who's operating this one. Amiga is already sitting at 1.8 million hex in the staking vault, 100 million pulse in the treasury DAO. Liquidity farming is coming soon. That's going to be Amiga DAO.finance. So this is obviously their next big projects. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But that is out and about. Once again, double check all the contracts and everything. But I'm pretty sure it was Cabal King running this. Double check that. Let me just check that while we're live. And I'm pretty sure this is the original one. You have to double check, with official accounts, the actual one there. But I'm pretty sure. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure that might be the real one there. It's the one that's pumping. What else there? Let me just scroll back up here. I'm pretty sure it's Cabal King. Let's Cabal King. Let me just see if the contract's on there as well. I'm not sure if the contract's there, but you can have a look. Yeah, just go double check in the Telegram group. Cabal King there. There's 2,131 members in there. I'm not sure. They must have renamed it from another one. But anyway, that's there. So that Amiga is out and about. So we'll be keeping a watch of there, launching a boutique, crypto environment. And that's up pretty nicely there at the moment. All right, we'll see whether there's a price correction. The other big one, of course, is 9mm. We have two main dexes on Pulsechain, Pulsex and 9mm. 9mm at the moment. So our overall volume today is 4.3 million, which is a slightly better day than normal. We are on a weekday, of course, Monday. 375,000 transactions. We got Pulsex out at 4.3 million. Pulsex is 3.8, and 9mm at the moment is 400, which is pretty similar to what I streamed the other day. So ticking away there. Obviously, if that goes up even further, then 9mm will do particularly well. So 9mm has been on the move. Now we have a couple of fake contracts here, Mule and Nana X. I'd keep away from these, avoid those at all costs. But let's have a look at the pulse ratio one, and have a look at these coins here. We've got the daily at the moment at 7,700 of a penny, and we got some nice market maker volume coming in today. So someone came in and pumped this, and looking pretty good there. So that's the price at the moment, market cap 770k. Let's have a look at the pulse ratio. Pulse ratio is at 1,000, so we've gone back over 1,000 here, kind of at the top of the range we're at in April, between January and April 25. So nice move here. So moving kind of early, right? Moving kind of early is 9mm. And of course, we expect, when Pulse re-rates, then you expect the DEXs to re-rate, right? Because they're going to get all this big volume in US dollar terms, and everything goes to the upside. And so DEXs should naturally re-rate. And it's already moving early. So someone's saying, screw it, I'm taking your bags. And I don't know who's doing that, but maybe it's someone on the team. Maybe it's a big whale that wants the thing. I don't know. But you can maybe do some research on it, see whether you can find anything on that. But certainly that is on the move. So that's 9mm making a big move there, which is kind of cool to see. We like to see our blue chips on the move. Now, they pay out their revenue every month to holders of 9mm, and they've got the NFTs to get some residual income as well. Reserve Tay there, which I think is all James Maria, if I remember rightly. I don't know if it's the ex-USD team. I think it's James Maria. That's all up just about 19% as well. So some nice moves there at the moment against a number of peers. But let's have a look at the, which peer is the biggest one? We've got Reserve Tay. But let's have a look at the Pulse peer just to give a similar comparison. And let's have a look at the chart there. So we definitely had some market making coming in the hours over the last day or two. And we had another big one there. Look at that, another 44k. So some big moves happening there. Let's have a look at the daily candle. And look at that. Woohoo! 3 days in a row. They came in and pumped this, didn't they? So there we go. Don't know if it's James Maria's hand on this or who, but that is being moved at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly candles. That is the chart at the moment. Let me just get rid of those big moves. That's kind of the chart at the moment. So there we go. Back on the CNC was at 5 zeros 9,900, is now at 4 zeros 37 there. So it's pretty good over the last few weeks. Let's have a look at that increase. 283%, so a 3.8x on that inside 3 weeks. It's 100% a week, pretty much. So it's been pretty good on that one. All right, what else there? We got SolidX up slightly. So we got how many coins over 10%? We obviously got all these FDPs. So we've got 3 coins essentially in the top 10, and they're all above 10%. So there we go. Some nice ones there. All right, SolidX at number 11, up 4.5%. We got Staked ETH there, up 2.8%. Source Unminimal sitting at 4.9 cents, up 2%. We got the Peacock pair, the biggest pool, number 14. That is up 1%, and that is waiting for all the launches, right? So we're going to get into that, I think. But we might do that. Let's see here. Let's jump into Peacock and have a look at Liberty Swap. We'll pull that up as well. All right, pretty exciting. All right, so let's get into it. I know these guys. This is our Kraken on Pulsechain. This is, excluding any big things Richard Hart does. This is kind of the big Kraken project on Pulsechain, right? I don't think there's any doubt about that. These guys are building out a mammoth ecosystem. They are, it's pretty insane what they're doing. Now, we've had some page 1 and page 2 whales on Peacock. They've been selling the price out. If you're wondering why the price has not really moved yet, well, obviously we haven't had the launches really go live yet. They're in process of going live, some of them, but there's been one, page 1 or 2 whales, rotating out. I don't know what they're going to. Maybe they're going to Prevex, or maybe they're going, something else. I don't know. But we've had a couple of page 1, page 2. Maybe they're doing some risk amount. Who knows? There's lots of reasons why people move coins, and they're sitting one on page 2 and page 1 or 2. So we've seen, I don't know, I've just tracked a few of them, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 of those moving. And of course, they sell down quite a bit of coins, and they cap the price. On the other hand, Peacock at Liberty Swap itself has been buying all the time. And so that's been pretty bullish too. And then there's a really good post from Liberty Swap. I haven't validated it, but take them for their word because they're normally pretty good with this stuff. And we're going to have a look at their comments on that. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So 12 hours ago, they go, good morning. Well, good morning to you as well. Now, I've missed the last couple of days, right, because I've not been streaming because of my technical issues out of the studio. But they've actually got their wallet up, right? So the extension for now it hasn't gone live yet as far as I know, but it is in process. All other platforms will be released at once this extension is up and running. Any bugs, if any, will be fixed. Now, this is going to be a extension. I think it's a Chrome extension, right? But they've called the wallet at the moment a ZKX a Web3 wallet. They may change the name of that, maybe just a ZKX wallet or Liberty ZKX wallet. I don't know. We'll see. They got the extension there. It is pending review, right? So it's getting pretty close. So keep a lookout for that. Last update, the 26th. So that is looking pretty exciting there. Slowly but surely, says Liberty Swap 10 hours ago, the software will have the best and most resilient wallet technology out there. Now, we know at the moment the number one wallet for dedicated Pulsechain is Internet Money Wallet from KG. Obviously done an amazing job with that whole thing. But now we're going to get some other options, and we do need more than one options, right? We've got third-party wallets out there, OKX, MetaMask, but they don't really support Pulsechain, right? So a lot of issues with US dollar prices and adding tickers and all sorts of things, RPC chains, and list goes on. But we're now getting a whole suite of wallets now supporting Pulsechain at the best possible time when we're trying to find the price floor and the market potentially is about to go, take off time. So it's really great to see top teams dropping some big wallets that people can use in their own time, and it's exciting. So this wallet's different though. This wallet is going to have privacy with all these advanced trading tools. It's going to be so exciting, and it really is at the frontier of DeFi. So we're very excited about this, and obviously, there'll be just the prepping and building that out over time. Very cool. They're really focused on safety too, so they're going to have a fixed list of projects and dApps and things like that in the wallet, just so people are not, Googling and getting fake links, phishing and scams and other things like that. So pretty cool. All right, so we've got lots of cool stuff there happening. I can start using it. It is pending review. However, we expect it to be completed today, so that's pretty cool. We got obviously names around wallets, so they made just verify the wallets there. They are going to have a mobile version and censorship resistant versions built for it, so that will be coming for those that want to use that. Very cool. So lots of good stuff happening. The wallet is very close. So one of the big 3 launches this month, right, is the wallet, and the wallet is a massive launch. I think a massive launch there. So very, very cool. Combining a normal wallet with privacy technology, and that's a game changer. Really, really is great. Peacock was trending on Next last night for some reason. That was pretty cool. Now, some of the interesting things that's happening is that Phantom, which is on Solana, right? So Solana is SVM technology compared to Ethereum on EVM technology, and Pulsechain as well. But Phantom is one of the main wallets on Solana, and they have this card, Phantom card. Add it to Apple Pay or Google Pay. A lot of people love using that, and get yours a few easy clicks. So pretty awesome stuff happening there with Phantom. Now, the cool thing about this is that Liberty Swap is connecting us into the SVM chains. Isn't that awesome? Really, it is so cool. Solana, of course, is going to be a top chain. I think it's not as reliable as Ethereum, etc., all that sort of stuff, but it is going to have a lot of the mega themes on it. Obviously, meme coins likely to have a lot of AI agentic stuff on it, and to some degree, stable coins and things. So it's still going to perform pretty well. Despite its flaws, but it's definitely, we're going to have access across these 2 technology platforms and blockchain, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So that is going to be pretty cool, and Liberty Swap has obviously supported that, right? So they got, and this is, I think, going to expand, but they got USDC Solana and USDC Pulse is coming. So activate your cards. Isn't that cool? So people are going to be able to spend money a lot easier off crypto blockchain, really getting rid of that fiat to crypto blockage. If you're having to use platforms and it's not always that easy, this should make it a lot easier there. So very exciting stuff happening in that space. 6 hours ago, they say in the long run, the ZKX wallet and ZKX privacy protocol ZK exchange should be managed by a DAO. Now, we know that the DAO's going to be essentially run, I think, with the ZKX airdrop. Now, that's going to be after the technology launches, which I think is fantastic because the technology is so good that we should just be focusing on that first rather than usual airdrops, FOMO and craze that goes on. Liberty team developers should work for the DAO and follow the DAO's consensus decisions. So that's in play there at the moment. This is more sustainable for privacy protocols and perpetual dexes in the long term and helps developers navigate things more effectively. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but we'll go with that for the time being. But anyway, that is where we are. So that's going to be pretty positive, I think, moving forward there. Should be pretty good stuff. Let's see here. Better for everybody, long-term play. So it does indicate that they're around for the long term. DAO makes developers safer when working on innovative crypto projects. All right, so that is the view there. All right, so we've got some pretty good stuff happening. Let me just jump out of here. Oh, we've gone too far. Let me scroll up here. I think we've got some reposts here. So that's ticking up there. So that is some of the stuff. Now we're expecting a couple of things, right? So let's go to the replies because there's a couple of things on here. And the reason why I spend so much time on Liberty Swap is because they are the Kraken project right now on Pulsechain. They're rolling out heavyweight DeFi solutions for not only Pulsechain, for multi-chain solutions that big users around the world will want to use, right? So it's very, very exciting stuff they're doing. Let me just scroll down a little bit here because I wanted to get into some of the comments that they've made as well. I'm not sure how far down they are, so we'll have to bear with me as we scroll down here. Let's scroll back down here a little bit. Now, a lot of this technology Richard Hart could use, right, too. So there's always that in the background because it gives them the privacy. They're going to obviously have a lot of trading stuff coming in, privacy, and they've got more solutions coming up, which we're going to get to in a minute. Let's see how far we have to go down to some of these comments that I saw. I think they're a bit further down, so we'll just keep tracking here. It's always good to go through their replies because they often add a lot of context and insight, extra information that people don't normally have, that you don't see in the main posts. They often respond to people and give them, disclose some more info. So let's scroll down here right now. I'm going to go find the stuff. They made one or two really insightful comments, so that's why we're going to keep going here. We've covered all those points, haven't we? So let's see how far down we have to go to. I'm not sure how far we have gone. Let's keep scrolling here. Hope you guys are not getting dizzy, but we're getting there. Hopefully I'll find it because it's some pretty good stuff. How far down? 10 hours. I'm not sure where. I think it might have been 12 hours or something. So we're getting there. Let's see here. Am I going to find it? Will the yield product be released before V2 and V3? Now, we're expecting the yield product to launch this week, right? So we've got the wallet, which is going for approval. It's in the pipeline. We could see it there. We've got the yield product coming out as well, which is potentially going to be absolutely massive because they're going to obviously allow liquidity providers to set up their own fee. 80% of the fee is going to go back to them. 20% is going to go to buy Peacock. And they got a 10% buy and burn 10% out of that 20% and 10% treasury for future development. So that is coming up. But there's some other point that they made. Hopefully I can find it soon. Hopefully we'll get there. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Let's see what happens there. So we've got two big products this week. And we may get the other products that are expecting as well. I don't know if we're going to find it here. I'm not doing a very good job finding this. I probably should have had it preset, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's going to update on Chrome web source. So if you're going to keep a look out for that wallet. Chrome web source is the place there. Maybe we're down a bit further here. I'm not sure how far this is that we're going. I'm just not finding it, am I? Maybe we'll find it with that other post on the monster thread. We might just leave that there, and I might be able to find it in the monster thread. So we'll keep a tune out for that. So sorry about that. We went down quite a bit far there, but the yield product's coming this week as well. So keep a lookout for the old Peacock moving forward there. Let's go into some of the other charts. We'll come back to it later on. So the Peacock's at the moment now 14.15, not really moving, but sitting at 1.2 cents. Right else, so we got their Firewall there up a little bit there as well. Top Hat tied in the Peacock is up just under 1%. Zero also part of the Peacock trifecta there. That is up 0.75% as well. Zendog also part of the Peacock trifecta. So a lot of Peacock ones moving up. Up 30% there as well. Ignore these pairs with the Mule and the Nana X, right? Just avoid all those. And of course, they're tied in as well to 9mm. So just avoid all those pairs. What else? So that's it. That's it at the moment. In the top one in trending, got 22 green US dollar wise. Let's have a scroll down and we'll have a look at the ones that are really losing right now because we're going to get into the monster thread. How are we done for time? And 15. Yeah, so perfect time for that. We have the ones that are down at the moment. We've got ZKP from Kairos down 70% right now. So it might be a good little pickup in the dip there. Doing some nice trading volume now. What else? We got the world's greatest P-dye printer down 9%. PTC the Greys, some of their pairs are down 8%. Teddy Bear, James Maria's meme coin, down 7% there. Provex at the moment is down 6.8%, and that is sitting at 407,000 on their Provex. So those are the ones at the bottom right now. So there's maybe some opportunities to pick up some of those top tier teams. We have Richard Hart coins in the middle zone here, and Vouch there at the moment. Just boosted their revenue, didn't it? So let's go for a quick look at Vouch before we get into the monster thread. This will be our last update with the teams. Let's go to Vouch. We had Vouch on the other day. What was about 6 days ago or something like that. They have now boosted their yield. So as promised, Stakers got a boost today with a large percent of the total system revenue being directed to the new staking pools. Remember, Vouch is the largest validator on Pulsechain and the largest liquid staking. So it allows you to participate in validating without having all the technology, the servers and stuff, a bit like Lido and Rocket Pool over in Ethereum. So and now they've boosted the yield that you earn, right? So this rewards both VPulse stakers. So you put Pulse in, you get VPulse. That's a kind of derivative, and Vouch stakers as well. Vouch is a reflection token, just another form of revenue. I think there's 5% on the buy and sell tax there. Stakers in the staking pool. Even better, the Vouch you earn from stake VPulse can be claimed and moved to the Vouch staking pool to keep the rewards flowing. There's a lot of compounding flywheel kind of stuff. Very, very cool. You can see the Vouch rewards pool setting there. Kind of cool. Stakers 90%. Yes, please. We got the Vouch staking pool also has the allocation amount increased. Now staking Vouch will give you more Vouch, and you also get VPulse holders as well. So boost across the board there. So pretty big deal for one of our largest blue chip protocols there. Looking good. All right, so that is the market right now. We're going to get into the monster thread. We're going to spend probably about 13 minutes or more on this. We'll see. An hour and a half is kind of the play, but looking pretty still. So obviously the monster thread is a publication of the Crypto Night Show. MVS Crypto is the editor-in-chief and promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. It does a fantastic job, and here we are 51 weeks later. This is edition number 51, covering all the hottest news on Pulsechain over the last week. Isn't that awesome? So it is pretty amazing stuff. Frank White says, always so much going on here on Pulsechain. The weekly thread really helps keep up with everything. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple of things that the weekly monster thread does. It is a professional publication, first of all. Secondly, it is out every single week reliably. And I'm not sure of any other blockchain that really has something like this out there. So it's pretty special in that regard. Pulsechain has a pretty defined kind of community. It's very large. It's larger than I think people think. A lot of people come out of the woodwork sometimes, but it's still pretty large. We have a lot of pretty identifiable influencers and, of course, community personalities. So it has a lot of that. And it's good for at least two reasons. One, if you're busy during the week, you can catch up on all the news on Pulsechain. It really, it captures a lot of the community. And number two, if you got people that are new to Pulsechain and you want to onboard them, and you want to say, hey, look, we got a pretty cool community, you can now reference them to the monster thread, and they can catch up on all the personalities and all the activities that are happening both in community and in DeFi that's happening on Pulsechain. So it really is pretty awesome stuff. And the read ship's about 35 to 50,000 in a bear market. we're expecting that number to go up by many X's, just like the price of Pulsechain, hopefully, very soon. And that is a really exciting future for the old chain. Now, one thing that has attracted as well is a number of large influencers over the last year in particular have been attracted to Pulsechain. And we're talking about people with hundreds of thousands of followers. So, really it's having a big impact, and more people seeing Pulsechain. So it really is really cool. So awesome stuff. There's a lot of exciting teams on Pulsechain and the Monster Thread, and they're doing some incredible things as well. So it really is exciting. So let's get into it without further ado. And let's scroll this up a little bit there. I'm not sure how far I can make that. We'll come back there a bit. And so if you haven't followed MVS, give them a follow on X as well. So it's Crypt MVS there. I will post a link to this as well. Actually, I'll just post this profile. It's probably easier to do. And you can follow MVS Crypto as well. If you're a team out there as well, you want to get in the Monster Thread, you can hit them up as well. So send them a DM or something. There we go. All right, so let's scroll into Pulsechain Monster Thread number 51, guys. So you know what that means. Next week is 52 weeks, which is 1 year of the publication, which is just an awesome milestone. So, and really has fit our vision for what we thought about it a year ago. So it's pretty exciting. Now, Richard's Alpha, Pulsechain in Europe, Ladies Night, and more monster moves. You can check out Emmett and True Farm, of course, two top leading farms on Pulsechain offering incredible APRs. So check out those. We got the first story is Richard's Alpha. Richard Hart shared an extensive list of common crypto hacking vectors, warning users to stay vigilant and never keep unencrypted seeds on devices. So obviously that's always very important. You got the link to that, so you can go to all the links, all the stories. The Monster Thread is a neutral publication, so it just takes whatever if people are doing stuff that's newsworthy, it gets in there. And this is from Richard Hart. So let's make a more exhaustive list of ways to get hacked so that people cannot get hacked. And so he's got some good lists starting there. And of course, he gets the community to get involved with that. And they provide, a lot of their own stuff to it as well. And a bit of promoing as well, a bit of promoing, self-promotion. So that is pretty cool from Richard. So big shout out to Richard there. Richard's always been hyper concerned about people getting hacked and things like that. So that's quite in vain with his ethos. Liberty launch imminent. And of course, we just covered quite a bit of that. But we're very excited. So we're expecting the Yield protocol to launch this week. That is still on track. And the ZKX wallet is under approval there. So should show up on a Chrome store, I guess, and that's very exciting. They're going to have obviously the mobile and all that coming as well. In the pipeline, they also have TWAP orders for Liberty X. So Liberty X is their DEX aggregator swapping site. They have, TWAP just means time-weighted average price. So, imagine price over a certain period of time. It's just the average of that price. Typically half-hour intervals or something like that. This depends. You can change the interval, but that is pretty much it. Staking, of course, is coming. We're expecting that. That could take multiple angles. One about the ZKX airdrop, which will be happening later on. But they could have staking Peacock and all sorts of stuff. So there's lots of things that could come in that line. And they've already teased about, staking Peacock, I think, for pump tire type airdrops or meme airdrops. Which they could get as well. So there's lots of variations that could happen with staking. Lending is coming. So we know that Liberty Lend is coming, and that's exciting. So at the beginning of the year, of course, they launched Liberty Swap V2. It allows them to basically hook in all the top DeFis that they want to. And of course, they generally build their own, and they pull them in, and they just can expand the DeFi ecosystem massively. And you got to remember, because they do the bridge to Pulsechain, it's like having a big river to multiple chains and all these streams going everywhere, and they can just plant their DeFi shops in the river. And so it's just, just huge potential for really expanding big time there. StableSwap V2 and V3. We saw StableSwap V1 coming. So Stable V2 and V3 is coming. That potentially V2 might come this week as well. We'll see what happens there. They're obviously launching a lot, so maybe what they have planned and what they actually do could be slightly there. But V2 is coming and V3. V2 is going to add more tokens. At the moment, they've got USDC in V1, StableSwap V1, and then they're going to add in V2 this as well. This is on their bridge, right? So on Liberty Swap. And V2 will expand all the tokens. So all the other stable coins and other tokens could be really exciting. And then V3 is going to have multiple chains, like more chains, right? So very exciting. And of course, it's also going to have a sub-product called Stable Swap Pools. right? So do with the liquidity side of things. So we're going to keep a lookout for all that. That is potentially part of all of that may come this week as well, along with the yield products. So that's pretty cool. So that was from them, and that did a little post there about that. So it's kind of cool. They got some other things. They said that they had some special things coming this week as well. So we haven't seen what that is yet. So how many times? They've got a couple of days left. So they're really up against it. So over the next few days, we'll get a lot of the stuff launching. So it could be exciting times for the old Liberty Swap and, of course, Pulsechain as well. All right, so I think this is a pretty fun play. Show me the money. Instead of show me the money, it's show me the internet money. The internet money wallet, of course. Crypto Cabana hosted an epic happy hour with Big K, Big Kowalski there, and special guest Brother KG from Internet Money, the biggest Pulsechain wallet. And so if you want to watch that show, go check that out because it's pretty good. And that's got the great, Crypto Cabana is a great host on these live streams. So go check that out with Brother KG. Brother KG in the house. If you don't know Brother KG, there is there doing a great job with the Internet Money wallet. Ladies' night. This was really popular. Obviously, these are very influential female influencers on Pulsechain. We've got Sammy Chica, Miss Vibra Finance, Georgia Korea, and a Wild SJ. Obviously, does a lot around promo tabs and a lot of other things, and then Hot Brawl as well. So all pretty well known female influencers, and they had a big ladies' night show, which you can check out. Look at that. You've got Somi there of the week. I don't know how that played out, but I'm not sure. Was he on the show? I don't think he was, but we certainly got all the ladies there in the house. So big shout out on that one. What is going on? RH Max, of course, one of the most regular large influencers, like myself, does a lot of shows. I think at least once a week. Dropped another video covering what's going on with Pulsechain, so you can go check that out from RH Max. And I think we've got a little snippet there. Let's go. There is RH Max there. Yeah, there he is there. Ticking away. So he's been a pretty consistent, large influencer in the Pulsechain space. So big shout out to him. We've got 400 billion Pulse deposit in a single platform. We've got some pretty nice projects launching in the DeFi space. We saw the Amiga DAO. Obviously, you have to do your financial due diligence and all that. And we also have True DeFi. True DeFi is kind of bringing a new approach to crypto because it's doing kind of like what I call managed funds. So it has a couple of different things. Part of its ecosystem has 2x pulse miners. So the idea to double your pulse there. And they also have what they call the SRE fund. So it's an investment fund. They take 10% of all the pulse that goes in the system. And then they go invest it in high yield protocols, bring that yield back. And slowly over time, they not only get you a 2x pulse, but they also take over the system more and more through system miners. So it's some pretty clever mechanisms there, and it's been going pretty awesome. They've had 400 billion pulse deposited. This is total deposits across the board. So it's include recycling, no doubt, and things like that. Deposit in a single platform. So pretty amazing results. And these guys also launched one of our top farms at the moment, True Farm, right, as part of that protocol to get high yield returns. Now, people have been making their 2x in Pulse, so that's more and more, let's call it batches of people, been making that, and there's ways of compounding and all sorts of other things to try and advance your position, right? So it's kind of cool. So True DeFi shows the proof of Pulsechain needed with exceptional adoption, surpassing 400 billion Pulse deposited in True 2x in 4 months. So they've done pretty well proving this concept up because, concepts don't always work, but so far these guys have been doing an excellent job. So top tier DeFi there, so you can check that out. Neil and Daniel are kind of the two leading people there. Executioners in the team as well, I think, but they're just on the move, and you can see some of the results there looking very good as well. Look at that 1.2 billion pulse distributed in a single day. So there we go. What day are they? Auction day 127. So you have to go on the auction, I think it is. Some days auctions are very good. You can get really good shares and speed up your return vector, your return timetable. So doing pretty well there. We've got Hex Flips Deflationary. I thought this was pretty exciting. We had two of our top quants. We got quants there. Have you ever seen The Big Short? The quant there, that was a pretty funny scene. But we got Hexfire, Crispy Man. And of course, he's kind of along with Ben Sierra there. There are two kind of leading Hex analysts now. They're kind of the two go-to guys. Ben Sierra does monthly reports and weekly reports. Hexfire there does consistent YouTube and he has his own data platform as well. So you get the real, if you want the best insights around, Hex, especially in modern terms, that is the place to be. So they're both commenting on the Hex Flips Deflationary on both chains. with the T-share report. So pretty cool. So we are getting, after a long time, I guess, in the wilderness, we are getting some fundamental moves happening with HEX recently with the deflationary in March. So yes, on both chains. So some good things happening there. So big shout out to both of those two guys. Ramp now, Pulsechain expansion. Now we've talked about LibertySwap a lot with the bridge, but Ramp now is a leading bridge on Pulsechain, and they're expanding pretty aggressively. So Ramp now is Pulsechain's expansion. Ramp now supports almost every blockchain and fiat currency as well. So you can come from different countries onto the chain. Pretty awesome. USD, euros, pounds there, Australian dollars, PLN, what's that, Philippine? I don't know, Philippines or something, and more. It's Ramp now, and they've got more stuff coming too. So I talked about the LibertySwap wallet coming this week. We've got the Ramp now wallet is in development, and that's pretty close too, apparently. So we're going to have another top wallet from another top team launching on Pulsechain. So, Pulsechain, I think, it didn't have enough wallets. Obviously, internet money is amazing, but, people want to have a few options, and just having a bit of optionality and different styles, different UI, UX experiences are very important there. And this is pretty cool. Now, the cool thing about these wallets is that they're being built by these bridges, these bridge teams, right? So LibertySwap and Ramp now got an extra bit of special sauce with that river flow of capital, let's say. So I think that's pretty neat. And this one in particular is from the fiat world into the blockchain. So whereas LibertySwap is, I think, largely just chain to chain, which is amazing. But we've got all these different angles going on. So Ramp now wallet is coming, ambassador program coming, and promo codes and rewards coming soon as well. So that is all coming down from Ramp now. So you can see Pulsechain's on the move, guys. We've got some heavyweight teams doing some top tier stuff on Pulsechain. So we're not just in meme coin or pump and dump chain. Things are really on the move there. Croissant extravaganza. I love this. Triple Dad shared pictures enjoying block-shaped croissants with the family in true crypto fashion. You got to love Triple Dad. He's a man of style. And if he's not smoking cigars, he's having fine dining. Fine dining. I don't know where he is, in Italy or somewhere. I can't remember. Spain. But eating the fine chocolates there from probably some of the top chefs in the world there. Look at that. They're making me hungry right now. And look at that fine dining that he's enjoying. So big shout out there. You guys probably still eat regular croissants. Mine are cubes, having fun in Vegas. I guess it looked like Italy or Spain, didn't it? But it's in Vegas there with his wife. But it looks like it's some sort of Roman casino or something like that. But it looks pretty amazing there. So awesome stuff. It's pretty cool. So some good stuff happening there. Taking over Europe. So we've got RS Griffins, right? So RS Griffins is the non-profit that's organizing all the Pulsechain promo pads. They're distributing out of a place called the Hive warehouse in California. We know that Wild SJ, top female influencers, helping a lot in that space, along with Captain RG3 and many others. Now, they've announced new Pulsechain marketing hubs in Switzerland, Sweden, Germany, Spain, and Denmark. So a massive expansion into Europe. And there are now 18 Pulsechain marketing hubs in the United States and 6 in Europe. So there's a massive expansion going on with the Pulsechain promo iPads. They're going to have a bigger impact. They're all going to all sorts of really interesting variety of places. And I think that's actually going to have a lot of impact there. So just sitting in behind the scene there, kind of cool. And millions expected, I guess, to go out. So we've got some good stuff happening there, RS Griffin. Now, they're constantly getting people to opt in into these hubs. So definitely get in there and get involved. There we go. Cool stuff happening there. And I think we've got a Wildest J as well. So I'm going to check that out. So there we go. Yeah, sign up today and get Pulsechain marketing tablets passed out in your area with the rsgfoundation.org. So definitely check that out for something for you. Props to Pulsechain store. Now, Pulsechain store there has been sending out all these T-shirts and merch to people. Sends out a shout out to Pulsechain store for the merch and extra goodies as usual. So have a quick look at this. I think we had a lady last week with a Pulsechain shirt. This week we got a guy with a hex.com shirt from Pulsechain store. So it's cool stuff happening there, right? Cool. Thanks, Pulsechain store, for the merch and extra goodies as usual. And Pulsechain store there is doing a good job. I think they've got a $50,000 giveaway. They do seem to have some sponsor as well that's helping with these giveaways. But yeah, look at this 10 hours ago. Get ready for Mega May giveaway. This May, we are committing to send 4,000 free shirts. So if that's you guys, are probably hearing about it relatively early. So if you want to get a free shirt on Pulsechain or Hex or something, go hit up Pulsechain store. All over the world, they're sending them, featuring cool brand new merch on Pulsechain, Hex, PulseX, and PulseProofX. will be something for everyone. So that might fit you really well. Only positive bullish vibes here. Season is coming. Absolutely. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. Fantastic. Let's go to that. Fantastic. Covered on live show. All right. Let's go. Fantastic stuff happening there, guys. Really cool. All right. Let's jump back out of here. So check them out. Chat with Seven, Crypto Chat 7. He's another Pulsechain influencer, another large one. Some say the largest in the UK. He dropped a video discussing everything about Hex, Pulsechain, and Richard Hart. So you can check out Crypto 7 there. Hex and Pulsechain and Richard Hart there. So looking good. The best bit there coming, all that sort of stuff. So we've got influencers all around the world covering the old Pulsechain. I love this bit here. Crazy. Was it Grazie Malay? Best talk there. So a bit of Italian, I think that is. Best Talk has been doing amazing. He's been in the Monster Thread a few times now, and he is going around the world pretty much, spreading Pulsechain iPads. So he's really going next level. Continues his onboarding efforts now at Albano and Castel Gandolfo. This is in Italy, I believe. Pope's Summer Pope's Summer Palace Town. I didn't realize he had one, but apparently. And here he is here on video. Look at that. That is Best Talk there. Onboarding new people to Pulsechain. He just never stops, this guy. I love it. Some say it may not be that tough work when you're like Italy or something, right? But it's still, you got to be pretty forward. Look at that. He's giving out the iPads to all these young people here in Italy. Pretty awesome, eh? So you can check that out. I don't know if we have volume on that. Should we?
Where are we supposed to say ciao? Just a minute. We have some new friends. We're in a little town in Rome. This is where the Pope has his summer palace. And we just met some new people here. And I have some Pulsechain. Welcome to Pulsechain. Anyway, we're going worldwide with these tablets. And just want to say welcome to Pulsechain and welcome to Albano in Italy.
All right, so you can see people are just out there and about. They're doing some great stuff, and Best Talk there is leading by example. Wow, around the world, and this guy's everywhere all the time. So fantastic stuff there. All right, so we also got DeFi Farming Wave. Really had a really I don't know, renaissance or a rising flow of top DeFi farms. I think Kairos is definitely Kairos from Ant Farms definitely been leading the way there, and I think he's managed to pick up quite a few of the magic sauce that you need to make farms last a long time and offer high yields. And of course, Emmett Farm's been around over a year now, so Kairos is really doing a great job. The one thing about Kairos that I really admire is that he's very open-minded, and he also always is looking for collaborations and partners and helping other projects. So I think it's really been a great stuff. Well, we've got Max Kane, his community influencer out there. He's dropped a video, full breakdown of a massive farm surge on Emmett Farms. So Emmett Farms have been doing a great job. You can watch the whole video there. He just walks through the Emmett Farms. This is a quick video, 2 minutes or so. But very, very exciting there around Emmett and fundamentals. Of course, we've covered it several times ourselves, but Emmett Farm doing a great job. We got Bitcoin Conference 2026. Maddie Allen will be representing Hex and Pulse at the Bitcoin Conference. And of course, we watched a little clip there of the digital strategy guy from Trump's administration talking about the Bitcoin stockpile and maybe some strategies they're going to be doing to accumulate more. We'll see in the next few weeks. And Matt Allen's there representing again. He's been there several times. Not sure how many times, but maybe 4 or 5 times, something like that. So he's going to be representing Hex and Pulsechain at the Bitcoin Conference. So a big shout out to Matty there because we know we need a lot of people representing at the conferences. We do see Liquid Loans and a few other teams out there going to conferences, but I think we need to do even more. Matty Allen there leading the way at the Bitcoin Conference. So very cool stuff there as well. So nice stuff. I think there's a little video there, is it? In the Bitcoin Conference there. Looks like Las Vegas, doesn't it? 5th year in a row he's been there. So pretty amazing stuff there. I'm not sure if he's got... Let's quickly check, see if he's got any videos of that. Oh, look at that. That was the 8th last time, but he's definitely look forward to some photos from him. He'll probably be doing some cool stuff there. So very cool. Good stuff. Lots of big things happening with the Pulsechain community. Burn, baby, burn. Pump Tires has burned over $1 million of Pulse via trading fees as reported by Pulsechain Stats and Crypto Coffee. So isn't that awesome? So Pulsechain Stats, one of our top information sites. Crypto Coffee, arguably the top influence in the Pulsechain and what a huge milestone. I mean, that's massive. Pump Tires picking up the volume of late and has now burned 24.1 billion pulse. Amazing. That's nearly 1 million of pulse at today's prices removed from the market. That's an average of 53.7 million pulse burned daily since inception 449 days ago, equivalent to $5,400 per day at the SAC rate. So awesome stuff. Look at that. That is the fee burning there. Kind of cool. Pump Tires daily fees burn. Looking good. You guys impressed? I think that's pretty good. That is pretty awesome. And of course, amazing stuff. Even Emmett Farm, they're responding to that. Nearly $1 million worth of pulse removed circulation. Yeah, never stops working. So turning up there as well. Lots of people in the mix. So some good stuff happening there. I think even Crypto Coffee covered it. Yeah. And cool. Look at that. Pretty neat. $1 million of coins that can't be dumped, says the Crypto Coffee, making Pulsechain more scarce. That is true. All right, so kind of cool. We got some honorable mentions. So Zero Trusting, part of that sort of peacock trifecta there, dropped Unmasked, a deep structured body of work built on the common law. So we've got teams doing all sorts of things out there. So you can definitely check that out. I think they're navigating the legal system there. I'm not quite sure the angle of that, but that's maybe worth checking out there. Free window, get in now, lifetime access. So close in a few days. So get in on that as well. Understanding the system and how to move within it. I guess in the legal system there. So if that's something that interests you, check it out. We also had Heart with Dog, new teaser for Pulse of the Fallen featuring Somi, Ivan Tech, and Ben Cohen. So it's been pretty exciting. Look at this green energy versus red energy. I think Pulse of the Fallen there is kind of ushering the green candles on the old Pulsechain, one anime episode at a time. So I think it's pretty cool. But check out this animation; it's pretty neat. So you got Ivan and Ben Cohen on the right there. They're kind of a bit bearish, right? And then you got Somi and Hog there on the left, fighting with the green energy. Keep a look out for that. So it's pretty cool. What else? We got Dave LaForest. 555 new token contracts just whitelisted on Solo LPX pools on Pulsechain. So it was a big milestone for the team. Big day for LPX. If your token is on the list, you can now launch your own solo pool. So a lot of people are participating in that. They also added 4 new pools for Wrap Bitcoin and Wrapped ETH. There we go, to fund the tokens. So good things happening there. Kind of cool. Then what are we up to? Finally, the Vouch. Yeah, Vouch added 150 extra validators as they were as they increased the yield on their protocols with their new capital staking. So pretty cool. Let's get that wheel spinning. So yeah, congratulations on Vouch adding 150 validators. This adds to the flywheel that burns Vouch. So good guys' jobs. Good job, guys. Good guys' jobs. Tongue twisting there. We also obviously have top tier teams in the monster thread. We got Switch. This is from Brandon, one of the largest influencers, and of course one of the prolific development teams. He does development for other teams as well. Switch Don't Swap is now pretty much top 3 DEX aggregator, I think, probably along with Patias and LibertyX and things like that. So Switch Don't Swap is ticking away there. Emmett Farm, obviously high APR yields. I mean, just incredible Emmett Farm. True DeFi, $400 billion deposited as well on that. And of course, True Farm offering high yields as well. APRs, including single-side staking in your EDI. Green energy versus red energy. There's also a teaser in there for season 2, which is getting very close to the first episode, I guess, coming out. And then Hero, of course, a non-profit. Every quarter their DAO takes profits from their token and then allocates it to first responders and vets. So big shout out to the Hero team there. Very cool. Now here's some of the pictures that were in the monster thread. We've got the ladies on the ladies show. Pretty cool. Great photo there. And we've got the guys along with KG there doing the Internet Money Show. Very cool. We obviously have Triple Dad there eating his a lovely croissant, a square croissant. And the Pulsechain merch or Hex merch there as well. So some really exciting stuff happening with that. So you can check that all out as well as all the Pulsechain things. I think we've got a few. Let's go back to Crypto MVS there. But you can see many of the other project teams in the move as well. I think we've got some, we got a repost there. Thanks for that, MVS. But you can see the Hog post in there as well. So you can check all that out on MVS's channel. We've also got all the other posts as well from the other teams. Where are they all down here? Yeah, we've got the Hog there getting big coverage. Who else is in the mix there? We got Switch from Brandon. The cool thing about Brandon, he also does these Q&As for the community. So you can obviously, use Switch and as a DEX aggregator. Very cool. You can do limit orders as well. So it's great having a top tier team doing limit orders. So definitely, if you're looking for a top solution for swapping and switching and limit orders on Pulsechain, definitely switch one of those to look out for. Kind of cool. And what else? We got a few other teams in here as well. Pulsechain store giveaways on the match. What else? So scroll down here. I think you got a few more. Have I got too far out here? Or how are we doing? Yeah, so we've got quite a few in the team. So check them out. Lots of team posts in there as well. I thought we had a few more that I had gone to, but we've got the Hero post there. So check out Hero. Hero doing well there as well. So lots of cool posts in the mix. I think we had True DeFi post in there as well. Emmett Farm post, so check that out as well. Emmett Farm and True DeFi post as well. So MVS, check out all those posts. Promo post there in the monster thread, looking pretty damn good. So big shout out. 51 weeks, guys. Isn't that incredible? We got 52 weeks next week. 1 year of the Pulsechain monster thread. Can't ask for better than that, can you? Can't ask for better than that. I think that's pretty exciting. You got to love this True DeFi stuff too. Look at that. Wow, looking pretty cool. What's that? High performance yield services. Look at that. Incredible. So we got a lot of good stuff happening. I think you guys can see people are doing great things. Promotions are going out there in multiple ways. Conferences, iPads, T-shirts. I mean, you name it. The community's on fire. Top tier teams are launching top DeFi projects, offering something different for different people. It really is a fun space on the old Pulsechain. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I finally got back live. 2 days off because of my technical issue, but we're back up and running, so great to see that. We might very well have a big interview coming up, possibly with True DeFi on Thursday. So you're going to hear one of the top DeFi projects on Pulsechain, 400 billion Pulse deposited so far. We're going to see how they perform. I did a live stream with them before they went live. That was 4 months ago, and so this will be a post-live show after 4 months of substantiation, and so we're going to hopefully drill down into that. So we've still got to confirm that booking, but I think that's coming up as well. If you're a team out there, you're watching, and you want to get some coverage, hit me up for a live stream. I'm going to probably do 1 to 2 live streams a week. I try to do 2, but it's always difficult to get everything booked in sometimes. So if you're a team out there, you want to get some coverage, and we want to explore your project, then get in there. We'll have a look at it. We'll check it out. Obviously, always do your own due diligence. Nothing's financial advice, but Pulsechain, it's on the move, guys. Are we going to consolidate for the next 6 to 8 weeks? We shall see. Let's actually have a look at the Pulsechain prices to finish the show off, because it's well worth looking at. Will Peacock fly this week with the big launches? Well, that's another thing that we're looking forward to. So keep a lookout for that. And we've got some new projects there flying as well, like a Muga DAO. Looks like it's doing pretty good. Diamond Hand says, and when Richard Hart interview? Well, that might not be too far away, right? We know that Europol is now not showing Richard Hart on there, and maybe Interpol will drop very soon. And Richard will arguably be completely free to stream again without any hesitancy. So keep a lookout for that. I know Liberty Swap teased it the other week, but they were kind of it's not what they quite meant. We'll see how that goes. But this is the Pulsechain chart right now. We are sitting below this is the daily chart. We're sitting below the 21-day moving average. That is now at 507900. We're sitting below there at 50600. Let's say. I guess we had the all-time lows. When was that? And somewhere back here. Maybe it was one of these days. What's those at? 6983, 69. Yeah, so maybe it was this one here. So back on the 31st, we got 506983 seems to be the all-time low. We're above that at the moment. How far above? Let's have a look. Around about almost 10% off the bottom. So almost 10% off the bottom there, and that was about 25 days ago. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. Let's go to the weekly candles though. So we've got a bit of work to do, to get back to 7900 with 21 moving average to 50. Daily moving average is 8500, and the 200-day moving average is at 1600. As you guys know, my first attack was obviously we've got to lose the 0 and get the 4 zeros again, which would be all the way up here. But really 1200 is kind of the first mark to make, in my view, which would get us over this 9th of February top here. So I think we can break that, and we can finally start getting an uptrend going. So let's have a look at the weekly candles. So this orange box is the SEC case, right? Lasted for about 2 years, and they got defeated by Richard Hart. And then we have really bottomed out from the looks of it back here. Like I say, yeah, at that mark that I mentioned earlier. So I think we just need to consolidate here 6 to 8 weeks. And if we can do that and then break out to the upside over this 1200 mark, so this mark here, I'm thinking pretty good there. And look where the weekly 21 weekly averages right now. It's at 1240. So I think that's a pretty key mark. If we can break that once we consolidate here for a bit. Obviously, if we break down, which is, it's always plausible, I just think that have a feeling that we're just in that zone right now. But we'll see. We are coming on the RSI, I should say, is coming off the 30 mark, which is kind of the oversold mark, and it is on a weekly time frame, so it's quite long. So we'll keep a lookout for that. We had an attempt 2 weeks ago or so. We got to 9,200. So, but I think if we can just consolidate here a little bit there, maybe even slowly rise up in this consolidation, and then make them break for that 1,200 mark. Obviously, 1,000 is the first one to lose a zero. But if we can break the 1,200 and then maybe come back and test it even, and then onwards and upwards, zigzag back up. And finally, this big yellow line here, this big mega downtrend from Pulsechain will finally end at basically 5 zeros, 7,000, just under 7,000. And that be the bottom, and off we go. Now, we do know that if we've been on the bottom here before on the weekly, and if we get one of these rises in the RSI, we always get this nice little rise in the chart, right? So this is kind of indicative of where we might go here. So, I think Pulsechain, if it's coming off the bottom, we can consolidate here. Remember, the rest of the macro picture is looking bullish, in my view, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We went through all those fundamentals for about 40 minutes or 50 minutes. Then this is also potentially going to help us to the upside as well. I don't know whether we'll get the same level of rotation. Obviously, we had $1 million go up pulse alerts, but yeah, let's see what happens in that space there as well. And we shouldn't get the bad contracts impacting us. And hopefully the sacrifice set has also calmed down a bit. But rotation's always an ongoing risk into the majors. But hopefully Pulsechain become the major too. So there we go. That is kind of the play right now on the old Pulsechain. So definitely going to finish the show now. An hour and 51 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch me again tomorrow for another live show on the same thing. We'll be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pulsechain as well. I did notice on X1 chain, which is Jack Levin's chain, we did see a bit of a pump in XNT coin last night. So it was kind of bullish. We'll see that. We'll be following that as well as in the bear market. The bull market's going to be pretty aggressive, and they can always re-rate quite nicely. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody. Yeah, it's just fun times. Man, it's so good. All the stars are aligning, and it's very exciting where we're heading with the old crypto, generational change and wealth. And of course, with the AI theme at the moment, a lot of people are losing jobs. So you guys will be on the best capital performance asset in the world, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course, Pulsechain should fly on the back of that too. All right, take care, everybody. Catch you again tomorrow, and bye for now.